As successful as Chrysler's had been in the quarter mile in 1964, the following year, the company made even more resources available to drag racers.
So it wasn't just the engine. The engine gets all the light in the Mopar world, but there's a lot of other drivetrain components to the car that they did just keep up with the engines.
The Ram Chargers, of course, they were Dodge engineers.
The candy-striped Ram Chargers Dodge, driven by
And one thing that they had done to the cars was they moved the rear axle forward 3 inches and actually shifted the fender well so nobody noticed. And they went out and they kept cleaning house the rest of the season because there was more weight over the rear axle. Nobody noticed it.
The Dodge beats the Chevy, and Moser goes into the all-Dodge stock final.
The amount of expertise and money being poured into drag racing ensured that the cars became more and more powerful and estimated times dropped precipitously.
One thing that was very unique about the factory experimental class is when they first came out for that very first run in Pomona, they were running about 1050, 1060 times. They went from carburetors to Hillborn fuel injection, running on alcohol, to running on nitromethane. Within a matter of months' time, they went from running 1060s to running 860s in the same car. That's why the cars were scary, and that's why these drivers are legends today, because there has never been, never will be, a given class inside of 1 year that has accelerated 2 seconds in time. That just makes these guys legends.
Chrysler's flagship drag offerings in 1965 were the Plymouth Belvedere, the same model that propelled Richard Petty to NASCAR glory in '64, and the Dodge Coronet, which replaced the mid-size Polara in the Chrysler product line.
The car behind me, the 65 Race Hemi Coronet, that car, you could order it with a slant 6, you could order it with a 383, you could order it with an automatic, a 4-speed, you could order it with a Hemi. You could get it with whatever you wanted back in those days. So that same body style, you could sell it to grandma, or it could be a race car, just by changing the engine.
These 1965 factory lightweights were not only historically important in their own right, but they were precursors to an entirely new breed of drag racer.
65 Plymouth figured out that they could take a brand new production body before they assembled it and dip it in acid to basically reduce the thickness of the metal. The door glass is half thickness. The armrests are deleted from the door panels. The radio was deleted, the ashtray was deleted, the heater was deleted. One windshield wiper on the passenger side was deleted, all in the spirit of winning, all in the spirit of creating the greatest amount of power with the lightest amount of weight in the package as possible.
In full racing trim, the Belvederes and the Coronets were tough to beat on the drag strip.
Mercury actually had put down a ruling that you are not to engage in match racing against the Chryslers. They just were no match for the Hemi.
A very limited number of Hemi-equipped Belvederes and Coronets were built in 1965, making them some of the rare muscle car variants of the era.
65 Dodge was the last of the real race Hemis. When some of the other manufacturers were pulling out of racing, Chrysler and even Ford still were at it heavy.
In the years to come, car companies would offer a wide array of style and performance enhancements, with big block engines, race graphics, and aerodynamic styling. However, two of the most iconic machines in automotive history remain the 1964 Pontiac GTO and Chrysler's 426 Hemi engine. Each paved the way for a decade-long flood of great American muscle cars. From Dow Corp Racing, I'm Chip Foose, and I'll see you next time on American Icon.